All right, Cats fans, the game has literally just ended a couple of minutes ago. Hello, welcome to Post-Game Live. It's the Cats versus the Bulldogs, round 4 at Adelaide Oval in Gather Round, and the Cats got the job done by 4 points. Somehow held on in the last couple of minutes there to get the win. All right, who have we got to come on first? I think it's Johnny. Here he comes. Hey, how you going, buddy?
What a fantastic win. I was watching your last time we played earlier today or yesterday when you put that on. And I was a little bit nervous, I had to say, but I think we really gutted it out. That was a classic Geelong win.
Oh, it was it was a bit of everything in that game, wasn't it? It was the Cats get out to nearly a 5-goal lead. It was the Cats playing champagne footy, like the best footy you've ever seen, followed by some of the worst footy you've ever seen at times. Finding a way to play a bit of tempo football circa 2020, 2021. And then the run and gun stuff as well. Still with a bunch of young kids too, I might add. Incredible performance.
Yeah.
Probably an incredible month of footy, really. And you can say we haven't beaten anyone, but we've beaten the Saints and we've beaten the Dogs, and they'll be thereabouts.
I still rate the Crows win in Adelaide as a decent win, even though Adelaide haven't been as good. But it was that sort of classic, like I was ready to pop champagne with like 15 minutes to go, and then Geelonged and brought them right back in it. But I think we were not always physical, but we were physical when we needed to be in the end. And the killing the clock is what we do best.
Somehow we found a way to kill that clock. I thought, we got to within, what is it, a minute 47 or something like that. And I thought, okay, we should be right here. And then, sure enough, end-to-end football. I think after the Stanley, I'm not sure what the 50 metres was for, but the Stanley had a shot, missed it, went from end to end, mark, goal. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We're in trouble now. Next, and we got to get the possession. You're just like, who's on Libba? Who's on Bont? What's happening? If you're in the chat and you want to jump on, I've just posted the link on the screen, but I think you should be able to see it in the comments pinned as well. So feel free to jump in that. Mate, we're going to take a deep breath. Jesus.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Stanley because I think he played a very impressive game. Probably one of his most complete games that I've seen him play in a really long time. That mark with 4 minutes to go, that mark along the boundary side, and then like sends that piercing ball inside 50, even though Ollie Henry missed the goal, which would have really sealed the game. It was still, I thought his competitiveness from Team English was really, really excellent to see. I thought that since last week, who was our ruckman last week? The kid
Toby All-Australian Conway.
Yeah, Conway. Yep. I thought he might be back, but no, I thought Stanley definitely held up, and I was impressed.
Yeah, Benny DSS off a 5-day break here. Pretty good effort, really. I think the Dogs, to their credit, to be fair to the Dogs as well, didn't they play in Perth? Had to fly back to Victoria and then flew back to Adelaide. So an extra day or two, whatever they had, but a lot of time in the airplane. I
know we're not Dogs supporters. We don't pretend to know their inside and out. But what was the Cray emergency sub or medical sub? Like, what? I don't understand what that was about. And then he got subbed for Caleb Daniel.
Yeah, I think the commentators, not that we rate them too highly, but they were saying that it was a tactical sub. So, Paul's just let me know.
I was glad.
I was just saying, Paul's just let me know via Twitter that he's got a migraine and won't be joining us tonight. Hello, Paul, if you are watching, though.
Okay.
Sorry, mate. I'll cut you off.
If Jack McRae is looking for a new club come 2025, I think as a destination club, Geelong would be the perfect spot for him if he's struggling to get games.
We need some more old blokes. We're building for another premiership again. We're loading up once again, so you got to load up with a few.
Now that we mentioned that, our midfield is doing pretty well. Brandon Parfitt, filling in for Patrick Dangerfield, has been doing, I think, a pretty fantastic job.
What happens to Parfitt, though, in the next few weeks when some players start coming back? I don't think you can possibly drop the guy the way he's been playing.
Yeah.
I don't know how you what do you do?
Yeah, I put that question out on Twitter of, like, what are we going to do with Parfitt once Patrick Dangerfield is healthy again? But I think that this is sort of like our team at the moment is reminiscent of the 2022 year where we won the flag, where it was like the difference was that our younger players, our less inexperienced players, our who are not like the stars of the show, they all stepped up, and that's what sort of took us to that next level that we needed. And I think we've been seeing a lot of that this year, particularly with Parfitt stepping up. Dempsey played a really good game. Bruin has been fantastic.
Oh, yep.
Has to be said. And then Max Holmes is just Max Holmes is the second coming. Like I think he's fitting into that Joel Selwood role perfectly.
Max Holmes is.
Yeah.
Mm. Can we call Bruin? Can we call him Boston? It's in Boston Bruin.
Why? Oh, Boston Bruin. The Boston
It's
Bruins.
stupid.
I'm not much of a baseball fan. Yeah. Okay.
Isn't it baseball?
Oh, sorry, hockey. Oh, fuck.
Hockey, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Okay. There you go.
I don't rate hockey that much. They just fight all the time. Anyway.
Yeah. Last thing I wanted to mention, or the other thing I wanted to mention, the Dogs' goal just before halftime, where Mitch Duncan,
yes,
got blinded by the lights or something. The ball just loosely hung in the air, and it was anyone's to get. And I just don't think we went competitive enough, and we just had to hold on for another 2 minutes, and we couldn't do it. And we conceded a goal.
Yeah, that those moments do happen. Unfortunately, it's the thing that probably annoys me the most. And maybe other teams do it too. But the thing that annoys me most about the Cats is we have a habit of giving up goals in the last minute or two of quarters. And when you're not going hard enough at the football, and it leads to a Dog's goal, I did not appreciate that at all. But he played a pretty good game, I thought. That was not his best moment, Mitch Duncan, but he did have a reasonably good game. I'm just gonna pull up some stats while we're here, mate. What do we got here?
Yeah, so, I'm also looking at the stats. So the Dogs, so their midfielders, Treloar, Libba, and Bont had 37, 35, and 35. And Jeremy Cameron was our leading disposal getter with 27. And then Jack Bowe, Brian Myers. Yeah, that's going to be one of the more unusual stat lines I feel like we've put up.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. Would you have Jeremy Cameron in your best 4 or 5 on the field tonight?
I'm very much enjoying him coming down the ground, but I would say that not to knock Jeremy Cameron, but I just think that a lot of our other players have sort of stepped up and taken that next level. Even Zach Tui, who has not played in a little bit, played really well tonight. Blitzarfs was good. Stengel was fantastic. 4 goals.
Oh, yes. 4 goals. 4 goals, no behinds from 13 touches. He was terrific. Who was Brian Myers? I sort of went early with Brian on Twitter, and I said 3 votes, Brian Myers. He had a fantastic first quarter. What he had, a couple of goals for Brian. No score, 4 clearances. He was everywhere tonight. He did go missing at little points, but I think that's more the opposition recognising alarm bells were going off. We got to stop Brian Myers. I wish we had done the same with Liberatore. Wish we had recognised that alarm going off. That was ringing very loudly all day long.
If you solve that problem, then you're doing very well. Myers still finished 3rd in team touches, though, so impressive. Zach Guthrie, 4th in team touches, impressive. Stewart was great again. Yeah, I think it was a really, really complete game. This is what we've been doing week in and week out lately.
And Tom Stewart just didn't have the best game, but still got his 20 touches. He had a pretty good last quarter, I think. That's probably where he did stand up. If not for Tom Stewart, I don't know if we're winning this game. He just a couple of decisions. I was actually chatting to my wife watching the game and probably recognizing and maybe a replay, watching it again might help. But I'm just thinking maybe Tom Stewart's not playing that loose defender tonight. That it seemed to be more Zach Guthrie in that role for fair parts of the night, and he was blocking down more on. Definitely when Bont went forward, he was locking down on Bont, playing more of that role. And I was thinking, is Stewart? Is it a tactical thing that they're doing that it's the opposition and they're playing Stewart in that type of role tonight, or is it that he's something's a bit off with him? I wasn't sure. He looked fine. He had the hamstrings getting rubbed at one point on the bench, but I don't know. It's just a different role for him tonight, so it didn't have the same impact. And put himself in some positions where he looked a little bit less comfortable.
Yeah, I think he was sort of taking his shots where he needed to, and there were a couple of misses tonight, which we're probably not used to seeing. So then the ball would get loose in our defensive 50, which we're not particularly used to. But Zach Guthrie, like you were saying, was able to pick up the slack. De Koning as well did a good job. Even Colin Jasny, I think, played a perfectly fine job. He did his sort of like classic Colin Jasny thing where he needed to, but I think it was still a pretty complete game. And going into next week, we play North Melbourne at home.
It's gonna be a tough one, that one.
You got to feel comfortable about it.
I'm getting arrogant already, John.
No, but it's worth talking about, because then the next 6 weeks after that, we've got the Lions in Brisbane. It'll be tough.
Yes.
We've got Carlton.
Yes.
It's gonna be tough. Deans, tough. Adelaide, tough. Gold Coast, Giants. Like, we've got a real gauntlet coming up. Richmond and Sydney, and then Carlton again. So these wins, the win against Adelaide was critical. This Bulldogs win is critical, and we should win next week, and then we should be, 5-0, 6-0?
If we beat North, it'll be 5-0, and then we get probably the biggest test of the year. Maybe not so much. It's Brisbane up at the Gabba, and normally that would be an absolute almost. Well, no, we play okay up there, but you wouldn't be expecting to win that game. This year, I think we are expecting to go. We expect to go into that game 5-0, and we should win the game. Providing we get through North okay, and hopefully there's no major concerns coming out of this game. Paddy Dangerfield should be ready to go. I suspect they still won't play him against North. I think it's a perfect opportunity to get a game into another young player. It doesn't mean it. Maybe not a debutant, maybe not, but you'd love to see Shannon Neal have a crack. I think we haven't talked about Tom Hawkins. Can we talk about Tom Hawkins just for a minute here, John?
Well, what would you like to talk about? He didn't really do too much.
Well,
to say.
That's what I want to. That's kind of what I want to. I think and I love you, Tom. I know you're sitting here in the change rooms on your phone right now, because like you were during the rain break last week, just watching the Hoops show, just catching up on everything, the Hoops crew.
Liking,
I think maybe you should have. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he went home and tucked the kids into bed after game 350, but maybe he enjoyed it a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I know Joel Selwood didn't play after his 350 the week after, but Tom, he was a witch's hat out there tonight. I haven't seen Tom like that for a while.
Yeah, just the one mark. Yeah, I think he deserved the week off. He's had a very good performance to date. I think he's definitely logging those games played. It's going to be very important for the next couple of years to get to 400.
True.
So
true.
Thank God for Cameron, Henry up there, Stengel, Myers, Close. They're all doing their bit. I think our forward line is very complete at the moment. I think our midfield's doing well, and our defense as well. So I think we are quite complete, minus no injuries. Hopefully, I think I saw on Kat's Twitter during the week that Cam Guthrie was back in training, which was nice to see. Not sure when he'll make a return, but it's good to see him running around again.
That's right. That's good. We've got an 8-day break between now and when we play North. So it's a good opportunity to. It gives us a bit of time to think about what we're going to do. It is an early game at 1:00 at GMHBA. on the Sunday. But
I'll be at the
I
game.
don't know. Yeah, I feel like it is probably one of not to disrespect North too much, but you can probably play a young kid and still be okay. I think.
Yep.
I think you
I
can
think like this
probably
is
still
the perfect Sean Manor game to play.
perfect Shaw man again. Yep.
I think even bringing back in Conway or some of the other kids who are ready to go. So, I mean, Bose played. Didn't he play his first game tonight? And I think he played a really great game. Did he play up forward for a bit of it?
Yeah, he went forward. I think he was playing forward of the ball a fair bit tonight. He kicked a couple of goals, two goals, 23 touches.
So he started on the interchange. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw him mostly up forward in the first half of the game. And I'm pretty sure, wasn't that a partial role for him at Gold Coast when he was at Gold Coast? He'd sometimes play forward, sometimes play back.
I think so, but yeah, I must admit, my background on Jack Bowe's Gold Coast days is not fantastic. I think, yeah, no, but he was good. He had 4 clearances as well, 3 tackles. He was pretty solid. Throwing a goal assist there. About 73% time on ground. Who didn't play much today? Jai Clark. 50, I mean, he was the sub at 3/4 time, wasn't he? So, but Tanner Bruin, for all the things Tanner Bruin did tonight, 67. Apart from Clark, who got subbed off, Tanner Bruin was the next most on time on the bench. 67% time on ground. He looked like he was there. He had a great game.
Yeah, I think he played a really complete game. Bruin over the last probably 3 weeks has really stepped up to the point where it's like I was looking again at Kat's Twitter social, and there was a photo of him and Ollie Henry next to each other, and all I could think was just like, for the first time probably in 5-6 years, I feel calm that we are in good hands. Like I feel like we're in safe hands, and I can actually see the vision of where this team is going for the future, which for a long time the narrative has been, we'll be very old. We might, flame out like the Eagles, and then we'll have no one to sort of take us into the next era. But I feel like there is an actual plan. I can see it now.
Yeah, it gives you a bit more confidence in the next couple of years. It's pretty hard to predict how a team will perform over more than 2 years, I think. But if we had a team full of absolute stars and they were average age of like 24 or something, you'd be feeling pretty good. But there will be a drop off. We'll lose 3 to 4 players through retirement. Hopefully, well, if they play into their late 30s, that might be different. But we are going to lose some players to retirement. It doesn't sound like Tom wants to go anywhere. And Tui, I thought last year was Tui's last year, but he's hung on a little bit more. And and then you've probably got couple other ones there. What else have we got that might? Duncan will he keeps talking about wanting to go on again. So he's probably one that I think he's been good this year, apart from that moment where he didn't go hard enough. But tonight, he could be one that I would like to see hang him up now before it's too late. And I think it'll catch up to him pretty quick when he finally gets there. His skills are fantastic, but when his reaction time goes and he loses a bit of speed, then I worry about that. So hopefully, I don't know, prove me wrong. They always prove me wrong, John. They always prove me wrong.
That's what's beautiful about them.
Oh, they're terrific. I've got Kyrie's trying to get into the chat here, but he keeps dropping out. So once when he gets back, I'll see if he's able to jump. Do you need to get going, or can you hang around for a few more minutes? Or
yeah, I'm fine. What I will say as well is just even looking at like Max Holmes is 21.
Yeah,
Brad Close is like 22, 23. Like I just think that our young guys, even like Zach Guthrie, who's probably one of our older young, like next gen players. Like, I don't know. I think our depth is good at the moment. I'd be interested to see how our sort of VFL, our reserves come in and start playing games. So more Jai Clark. Like I understand why Jai Clark needs to play more football, but at the same time, if we're fielding our best team, I would rather have Patrick Dangerfield, Brandon Parfitt, Max Holmes in the middle, Tanner Bruin, than Jai Clark out there for me. But I understand that he needs to get a run as well in order to fulfill that next role.
Yeah. Do you think what was I going to say? Do you think? Well, firstly, do you think Max Holmes will be with us next year? I'm more every win that we bank is more. I'm more and more confident that he will sign that contract, but he's driving his price up, and apparently it's with the club at the moment to come back to him because he's made an offer to the club, him and his manager, that he thinks is fair. Another good game tonight.
I said open the vault for him because I think he's worth it. Actually, even watching the game beforehand with Freo, like when we lost Jordan Clark, like not that we really need Jordan Clark right now. I think our midfield is stacked and our defense is playing well, but wouldn't it be nice to have Jordan Clark with us right now? Imagine Jordan Clark and Max Holmes running through the midfield at the moment. Imagine Tim Kelly as well. Like, can Tim Kelly, please, if you're watching, if you're listening, I know you are, the avid Hoops fan, Tim, please come back.
Come back, Tim.
We will take you back in a second. Don't you want to win something?
Come back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm doing my Rose from Titanic there. If anyone else, my breath.
That's where I kind of stand on it. Yeah.
Can we get Gary Ablett from the Gold Coast days back as well? That'd be good.
Right.
Brownlow medals. Can we get them all back? Maybe get Senior in for a game or two. Just a bit of a farewell tour for Senior. All right. So Grind, have we talked about Grind Myers? Because I think we have talked about Grind, haven't we? Who haven't we talked about?
That he stepped up. Grind Myers has been playing very good football, despite not kicking. I don't think he kicked a goal tonight.
No, I had 2 goal assists. Didn't have a shot on goal, but was just set. He was peak Messi tonight, wasn't he?
Right. I'm looking at meters gained, and the leader for the night with 662 meters gained was Jeremy Cameron. I know we talked about him before, and he came down the field a bit.
Yep.
But this has got to be a career first for him, right? Of most disposals for the team, where he had 21 kicks, 8 marks. He was fantastic. No tackles, but 662 meters gained for Jeremy Cameron.
That's crazy. I'm just doing the sum. I'm doing the sums. How many? What's this?
Yeah, I mean, if you're like a super
24 meters per disposal,
right? If you're playing fantasy, 116 fantasy points from your key forward is absolutely what you want.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was. I'm gonna find it really hard to get it because I don't know if you know, but I do my top 4 and I post it on the Hoops crew.
Oh, that's right. So who's going in?
Well, that's what I'm not sure about. And I need your help, and I need people in the chat probably to throw some names at me as well, because I think I'm definitely going to get Grind in there. No one's going to stop me putting Grind in there tonight.
Sure.
I'm leaning towards Jezza just for the sheer work rate.
Yeah. Would you put in Blitzarfs for his 250th, or is that not a thing?
Oh, Jesus, the sentimental one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
pity
I wouldn't get smashed if I did it. I'm sure people would get it. But he probably wasn't top 4.
What about can I float something with you? Which we haven't talked about yet. The Ollie Dempsey goal, socket off the ground, which was insane. And then the score review of, I believe it's a goal. I just want to make sure it's a goal because it was that insane. The goal umpire was just like not sure about what was going on.
Oh, God. I believe Geelong won, but can we just check the Geelong won?
Can we just I believe it went straight through the sticks.
Yes, Geelong won.
Can we just see that again? Because it was that crazy.
Because it was that good a goal. We want to just actually play the replay a few more times. Not that I want to be on TV all the time, but oh my goodness me. One more before I let you go, and I'll get Kyrie on. But Tyson Stengel in that third quarter, what did he kick? 3 goals or something like that? Pretty much almost won the game for Geelong, really, in that third quarter. Even though credit to the Dogs, they came back and fought back hard. But
maybe he did kick 4 goals. Impressive.
I think Stengel's got to be. He was the one that I definitely. So I've got Grind, Myers, and Stengel in there. The goal umpire will not be in the votes.
I think Cameron.
Jezza Grind.
I think Jezza's got to be in there.
I think Jezza. There's probably someone else. Tanner Bruin, I really want to get him in there, but I don't know. People will make a case that I'm forgetting someone.
Okay.
Parfit. I want Parfit. Anyway, I'll let you go. I appreciate it, mate. Thank you for joining me. I was thinking this could be the first post-game live from a loss. We haven't done that one yet, even in the preseason. We're 6-0 if you count the preseason. So one day I'm sure it won't be next week.
Sunday I'll be at Kadini Park, so we'll see.
Hopefully not. Fingers crossed. Take care, mate.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Thanks, John. Now, Kyrie's on the train on the way back. He's in South Australia at the moment. There he goes. I wonder what the noise is like. How are you going?
Good, mate. Obviously on the train, hasn't left yet. Probably in about 10 minutes. But how good? It's just a heart stopper.
Mate, how many Geelong supporters are around you right now on the train? Is there many? Or
there's a few. Cats fans. You're
Yell
on
out, Cats fans.
YouTube, the Hoops crew.
Hey, guys. What a win. Unbelievable. Did you have full confidence? Because, yes, we're watching it on the TV back in Victoria, and hearts were in our mouth or whatever, but it just at the ground, did you feel like the Cats had the right spread? Do you feel like they had control of the game, or was it a little bit of a different feeling? How did you feel at the game?
No, I was very, very nervous for this one. I think every time we just played the Western Bulldogs, you don't know what you're going to get out of them, and they just never went away throughout the game. Just the midfield and like Bontempelli and McRae, all those guys. They just always find a way against us, and I knew it was going to be a nail biter. I knew we were going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be like a comfortable win. I think it was all the boys had to play more than 100%, bodies on the line to get this one. So it was a hard-fought win for the Cats.
Definitely. Could you see much of Tom Liberatore at the ground? Because he gets a lot of those balls in and under, and but he was absolutely dominating for the Dogs tonight, and it was coming through loud and clear on the telly. Bontempelli, you can't hold him down forever, but it was the Tom Liberatore show. He might even get the 3 Brownlow votes tonight in a lot.
Yeah,
he was incredible.
Yeah, he had a few good looks. From the Bulldogs, I think it was Buku Carmen, I think his name is.
Oh, yeah. Karmas or whatever his name is.
Karmas, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like every time we were just getting in their inside 50, he just kept marking the ball like a prime Matthew Scarlett. It was just frustrating to watch, but he was incredible for the Dogs. And, of course, Marcus Bontempelli, he could play anywhere across the ground as well. I'd love to have him at the Cats. If there's one player I'd like to come along, so...
He's not a Falcon, though, isn't he? We've still got to get Harley Reid back. So things are going well with Harley Reid from West Coast. They haven't won a game yet. So it's just a matter of time until he starts asking for a trade back to Victoria. So look, who did you think stood out for you tonight from the Catters? Which 2 or 3 players really stood out for you?
In the first quarter, I thought Brian Myers was just going to steal away with the 3 votes. And I like what Tyson Stengel did today as well. The 4 goals, and what he did across the ground. And, I'm probably being biased as a South Australian, but I think he deserves a fair shout as well. I thought he was electric, and it was like all-Australian Tyson Stengel tonight as well.
He's terrific. It did feel very much like that 22 version of Tyson Stengel, and it's really coming through, especially on the telly, that he's smiling, he's enjoying his footy, he's enjoying his teammates, just having a bit more fun. And we probably didn't appreciate how hard it would be to come back from, was he have a broken arm or something last year? So, and just with all the midfield carnage with injuries as well, all the supply coming to him, wasn't as great as the year before. So things have improved. It's amazing. He looks absolutely like champagne when the Cats are flying. When it's a bit more of a struggle, those small forwards are going to naturally struggle a little bit more as well. So Brian Myers, Tyson Stengel, who else from the defensive end do you think sort of stood out for you when the whips were cracking and the Dogs were coming hard? Who really stood up to your eye?
I'm going to have to give a shout out to Jack Henry. He made some important grabs in the second half. Tom Stewart's just Tom Stewart. But yeah, I just feel as I said again, the Western Bulldogs, they just kept marking in their inside 50. But yeah, I don't know if Tom Stewart had an intercept mark tonight either. I just couldn't count it. I don't know what it was like on the TV, but yeah.
I
I'll
wish
just
I
have
could
to check
find
my
out.
stats.
Well, I've got the AFL website open at the moment, but I haven't got the full. Oh, I've just got the basic stats. I don't know if it'll tell me the advanced stats. Intercept possessions. I'll figure it out later on anyway. But yeah, Tom Stewart, he did stand up pretty well in the fourth quarter there. It felt
Yeah,
it felt pretty good. In the chat, 100 games, 100 days says it felt like a top 8 bout.
definitely.
It did feel like a high pressure game with two good teams. Are they 2 top 4 teams? I don't think they're top 4 teams just yet. But yeah, definitely Dogs could make a very strong case to be a top 8 team this year, you'd think. I would anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah. What did you bet? Did you like Jack Bowe's game tonight? Another one that I'm not completely sold on him yet, but he convinced me a bit more tonight.
Yeah, I've forgot about Bose, and I noticed him on the ground as well. He obviously kicked the first goal of the game, but he's just a clever player. He's calm, he's composed, and he's in the best 20. I've had him in my best 22, and yeah, he just needs to get another string of games. I just think he was absolutely fantastic as well, and what he did up the ground too.
Yeah. Matt Turner in the chat saying he thought Jai Clark did really well tonight, and that Ollie Henry had some moments down back that was smart and helped us out on the counter attack. I think Jai did some typical Jai Clark things for a 19 or 20-year-old. He's hard at the ball. Goodness me, he goes in hard and he gets his first to the ball a lot of the time. But he still hasn't quite picked up the pace of the game. So and his awareness isn't quite there just yet. But I don't think you judge him too harshly for that. In saying that as well, I wouldn't be surprised if it's time for a rest for Clark, or a time to maybe have a go at VFL level. Others will say, no, keep him in the team. There's no reason to drop the young kid. We're flying. He's still young though, and he's still coming back from an injury-riddled year. So last year, I don't know.
No, I agree. I think he's still an apprentice on the trade, and I think give him another game next week, considering it's North Melbourne. But yeah, just give him more games. He will come in time. He's a gun. He's a gun in the making.
So what was the vibe like at the ground, and what's gather round been like? You live in Adelaide, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Well, I obviously went to the festival earlier because it was a double header Fremantle Carlton game. The atmosphere was unbelievable. It felt like a grand final parade in Melbourne. Like everyone, team supporters and stuff. It was loud, and everyone's just getting around it. Like the spirit of the gather round here was just unbelievable. Yeah, it's if you don't, for all those who haven't been yet, to do so, get tickets next year. It's great. It's great.
And the parties at your place afterwards we talked about that the other week, didn't we? She said,
yeah, definitely. It's
party at Kyrie's place. Pull out the barbecue before the game as well. We'll set it all up. Has the train left yet? Are you on your way home, or are you still sitting there loading passengers?
No. The train's left, and I've got probably about another 20 minutes. But I'm sure you want to talk to some other people and stuff like that. So.
I'll get a few on. Hopefully we'll send you on your way, and you'll be able to recruit a few more subs for the channel on the train there. Get around.
No, definitely. Go Catters!
Go Catters! I love it. Good on you, mate. Enjoy the win.
Cheers, mate. See you.
Sorry to cut you for half a second too early there. Now, my favourite guest of all time on the show, and sorry, Brendan, you're not quite my number one, but Bianca and Brendan, here they are. Stayed up very late. Didn't get to the game, clearly. You look like you're at home. Is that right?
We are at home. Yeah. No voice left. It's been a really, really good day. We obviously watched the VFLW girls win this morning, come from behind win. And then obviously we just watched that game.
Are we going to be out of sleep tonight, Bianca, or are we just too excited still?
Too excited.
Me too. I started this. I hit the record button on the show, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm not ready. I need more time."
Yeah.
I couldn't talk straight away. I wanted to see Mark Blitzarves get chaired off, but I had to sort of run in. I missed all that. I hope who chaired him off? Did you guys watch that? Did you see?
Yeah, it was Zach Guthrie, and it was
O'Connor and Jack Henry, wasn't it?
Yeah,
O'Connor and Jack Henry.
Interesting mix. Okay, I wouldn't have predicted that, but I don't know why I care about these things so much, but it's important. Who was your favourite player today, Bianca?
I think Stengel really stood up, and so as Tanner Bruin in the midfield.
I love Tanner Bruin, and I love seeing Tyson Stengel get back to his really good form of 2 years ago when he was fantastic in that grand final and was an All-Australian. It's great to see him come back, but I think with a lot of good players, sometimes they play really well because their teammates are playing really well. So I think he seems to be one for me that his teammates are helping him play pretty good too. But he deserves it. He deserves all the pats on the back from the fans like yourself and others as well. Who did you like, Brendan, tonight? Who caught your eye?
I want to give a shout out, I think, to I don't know if you've talked about him yet, but Reece Stanley, I thought, competed pretty well today. I don't usually say that, but he had some moments there. He really could have iced the game for us with that goal. But I think he had 45 hitouts today against Tim English. So that's pretty good. I thought today was a really good lesson for our midfield, because they really got to see like what some genuine superstars look like. So I don't know if you noticed. Did you see Tom Atkins was playing in defence today?
I didn't actually. No,
defence didn't play midfield at all.
Wow,
our
okay.
midfield was Bose, Jai Clark, Tanner Bruin, pretty much and Parfitt was our midfield. And I think Atkins played majority of the game in defence. So we went with a really young midfield for pretty much majority of the game. And I think that's why Liberatore, Bontempelli, and that they got so many big numbers, because they were against really young players.
Okay, it's interesting. Okay. I'm surprised. I've never seen him. We started off as a small forward for the Cats a few years back now, but I didn't think he'd trained in the midfield at all. I don't know. That was an interesting one. Stanley's an interesting one for me because I thought he would probably have the week off last week, and Conway would have a run, and then I did think that Conway would probably get managed this week to give them both a chance to have a week off to keep them both fresh. Yeah. But now it's an interesting one. We come into North Melbourne next week. I'll ask you, Bianca, do you think Toby Conway should get another chance, and if he does get another chance, do you think him and Stanley can play in the same team, or does one of them have to play only?
I absolutely think Toby Conway should get another shot, because he taps to our midfielders, and then that gives us a chance in front of a goal.
To come to the ball.
Yeah. So at the MCG last week against Hawthorn, Toby Conway got me this ball.
Oh, wow. You're kidding. Nice.
Yep, signed it for her and everything.
I remember I saw Toby Conway at the best and fairest, the Cardew Groves medal after we won the grand final, and there was a man who I was after it was all done and they gave it to Cam Guthrie and Jeremy Cameron. Everyone was sort of standing around talking, and the players were talking to some people, and someone said to me, "Who's this big tall bloke?" And I said, "You can't be serious. It's Toby Conway. He's going to be the Geelong ruckman for the next 12 years or something. He's going to be a star. How do you not know who Toby Conway is?" But I guess not everyone follows the VFL, do they? Like, especially you guys, you follow the VFL all the time. So the girls had a great win in the VFL. We should give a shout out to the VFLW girls. They had a fantastic win today. I know Jake from the Chap Cats, he absolutely adored the win today. He loved it. So did you get to go to the game, or did you watch it on the AFL app?
We were there. We had already lost our voice before watching the men. Oh, it was unbelievable. We trailed all day and then just came home on fire in the last quarter. I don't know how many goals. kicked 6 goals, I think, in the last quarter. Just
That was a big comeback.
massive comeback. So Abby McDonald had 25 disposals. Brooke Plummer kicked a goal as well.
I heard about that.
Goal bouncing.
Yeah. And
We
they've
like
got
Brooke.
the team as well this year. So really good win, really exciting.
Brooke, we've had Brooke on the show. We love Brooke. She's come on a couple of times actually. So I always hope. I'm really, really hopeful that she'll get a chance at the AFLW this year. She'll be able to play a couple of games. She's got a bit unlucky last year, but hopefully it was a really good team last year, wasn't it? So it was hard to get into the side last year. Any other thoughts on the game today? Any other players that really stand out, or is there anything that you are worried about? I mean, it was a close. We only just won. Is there anything that you're concerned about, either of you, going into the next? I sound very arrogant not being worried about North Melbourne, but I think most people would think Geelong will beat North Melbourne. But against Brisbane, do you think there's any concerns that Geelong has that we need to? Any maybe players that weren't very good, or anything that maybe we're playing a certain style that you don't think's we got to fix some things?
At this point, we've banked 4 wins already, so we're flying at the moment. You don't need to be playing 100% right now. Right now, like, couldn't have started any better. We're relatively healthy. We've got 4 wins already, and like we've got some, you think, winnable games, so we can really experiment. With Conway, you could probably play Conway again this week. I'm not sure if you play Dangerfield this week. Do you give him another week off?
Yeah, I reckon. Give him another week. Get him right for the Gabba.
I don't think we could have started any better right now, because we can see what there is to improve, but we've got 4 wins already. Like,
I think we play Conway against Melbourne because we know Melbourne's a very competitive team, and it's at the MCG.
Against Gorn?
And he'll beat Max Gorn, won't he? Because he beat Tim English last year. So he'll beat Max Gorn. He just got to beat Max Gorn, Brody Grundy, any other Premier ruckman in the AFL. He's got him in his sights. Don't worry about that. No, I think Dangerfield maybe has another week off. And then, I don't know, I think maybe Big Tom Hawkins has a rest, and maybe we give a chance for – would you like to see Shannon Neal have a chance?
Yes.
Yeah.
I absolutely said after the game, we move Shannon Neal from the BFL and take him to the AFL because he's that level.
For one game, or like, can he play with Jezza and Tommy at the same time, or does maybe Tommy have a rest? Or
I think he'll get along with Ollie Henry as well.
Yeah.
Do we give Jeremy Cameron a rest at some point?
I think you do. I think especially with the 4-0 start.
Because when you see him in the forward, in like a few seconds, he runs to the defence.
He does. He's incredible how much ground he covers, isn't it? He had he kicked it over 600 metres today as well, and he just ran up and down the ground all day long. He's incredible how hard he works. But he's not that 30 years old is very old, but for a footballer, sometimes you need to have a few more rests when you get into your 30s. So it might be worthwhile. Jezza loves playing against North Melbourne though, so I think we might let Jezza play next week. But maybe over the next month, especially if we keep winning games, it's very good. It's a good position to be in to allow some players to have an extra week to come back for an injury, or to rest a player and to give some opportunities to some young guys in the team that might not get a game otherwise. It's kind of hard because they won't get to play a lot of games this year, but when the team wants to rest some of their older players, it is set up very well when you win 4 games straight away. We've got to be careful not to get too cocky and then start losing the next 4 games as well. Like that can happen too, and then we'll all of a sudden be maybe struggling again. But I think we're going pretty well, and everything in the preseason went really well with injuries too. So, and we'll hopefully get Cam Guthrie playing some VFL football first. Do you think maybe he plays VFL for a game or 2? Yeah, and then maybe he has to earn a spot back, which is hard because he's a best and fairest 2-time best and fairest player. Yeah.
He'll probably be playing defence as well. That'd be inclusion into our defence as well. A bit more pace in there too. So
I think so.
happy times.
I think so. Now we had Paul. Paul made a comment in the chat here. He was really impressed that the boys managed to curb the Dogs' momentum constantly. So, yeah, they did kick a couple of goals, but Geelong stopped them again, didn't they? But we've allowed teams to get a run on in the past. But the best Dogs did was 2 goals before we hit back. Yeah, it was very good the way we stopped those runs. We didn't let the Dogs kick 5 goals on us and have to figure out a way to come back after all that. So we didn't. It wasn't always pretty. It wasn't always good football tonight, but it was very. It wasn't always champagne football. It was a bit like beer football, I think. A little bit silly sometimes, but sometimes that gets the job done, I think.
Yeah, it's all you got to do at this point of the year. Just
sometimes that's all you got to do.
Get
That's
it done.
all you got to do. Any other thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think the stink one, when they bring it back to see the Stingle mark that
Yes.
behind.
Oh, yeah. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
What did you think? Was that a fair mark?
Well, I didn't even notice because Dad saw that it brought it back.
Yeah, I was confused.
Yeah.
I was confused by that one. I wasn't sure. When I looked at the replay, I thought that it was a mark, but only just. But if I was a Bulldog supporter, I probably would think differently. So I think,
I think I knew as soon as they said that they were bringing it back, I knew they were going to call it a mark. It's almost like soccer, but when they use the VAR, it's always like a penalty or something like that when it gets called back. So I was like, oh, this has got to be a mark then. So then when they went to the replay, I'm like, oh, you beauty. It's like, but I'm not sure if you want that.
No. There was a tackle in the last quarter on Tui where they basically grabbed him around the ankles and brought him to the ground and said it was holding the ball.
Yes.
I couldn't believe that. I don't know what the umpire saw, but I thought you've just tripped him over, and apparently it's his fault. I don't understand.
Out as well. He was on the ground as well. He actually got the hand out in that as well, and they still paid it. We still got the win.
Geelong's won 4 games in a row, Bianca and Brendan, but we've lost the free kick count 4 times in a row. So somehow, even without all the free kicks, we're still winning games of football. Somehow,
the umpires look after Geelong, apparently, but
apparently the umpires love Geelong. So who knows? I don't know. We're not doing that well. Thanks for jumping on, guys. What is it now? It's nearly 12 o'clock, but I don't think there's anyone else on the chat. But we might wrap it up there, and I'll get to bed. And I don't like the games when they start at 8:10. I wish they had started this one a little bit earlier. That would have been nice. But it's good to get the win, and I can go to bed with a smile on my face and wake up tomorrow morning and watch the highlights all over again. How's that? Hopefully, get to gather around next year. That'd be nice if we can make it.
Yeah, we'll go late.
Have a great night to both of you.
Have a good night.
You too. Thanks, guys. Thanks to everyone in the chat, everyone online watching along. If you haven't watched this show before, it is post-game live, and it's a bit of an opportunity for us Cats fans to enjoy the wins. We haven't actually come together before to commiserate with each other and to get to vent our spleen about a loss or we still whinge about the umpires, but we haven't had to come together for a loss yet. Hopefully, you tune in every week because it's clearly a superstitious thing at the moment. We're going well. We're 4-0. We'll be 5-0. Hopefully, no North fans are watching this. But yeah, we'll be 4-0, 5-0. Sorry, after next week. Things are going really well at Catland. Can you believe it? Hopefully we'll keep it rolling. Now, Paul, I've been told that Paul has recorded his Nuff of the Week, which will be dropping tomorrow, Sunday, on the channel. I think he's got possibly the AFL in line for that one this week. So keep an eye on that one. There's been a few Nuffs that I've been messaging him all day today, telling him there's a few others you could probably throw in there as well. I thought Mackay from Carlton, who was running to goal and just dropped it. I thought that was probably a big one. But anyway, check that one out. But most importantly, equally importantly, make sure you check out the Chat Cats recap of the game. And they'll have a couple of days to analyse this one to death, and they're very good at this. They're pulling it apart. Jake, I'm sure, will be watching the replay and just checking things out. Be very happy about the result. And I'm sure they'll pull that apart and we'll go crazy there. There will be a behind the play episode dropping this week as well. I'm going to double check who that is. I think it might be someone who's very familiar to Kat's Twitter. So keep an eye on that one throughout the week as well. And we'll have an episode hopefully on Wednesday as well. I'm not sure exactly what time we'll drop that one, but that'll be coming too. Oh, my guys, we got it. We got the job done. Somehow we won. I don't know how we won the game, but we did. Yeah, that's me out. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to have a drink and then I'm going to go to bed. I've enjoyed this one, Cats fans. I need to calm down a little bit. Go, Cats. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.